So let us talk about incremental process model. Basically here what we are talking about is a process model which is not waterfall model. It is incremental. Okay, waterfall was something where the requirements were definitely frozen and software was small. Now the thing is, requirement is still understandable and can be frozen, okay, but somehow the software is not a small, okay. Now requirement can be well defined, okay, but the scope of the development effort, it is not linear, okay. You cannot determine the total requirements currently, if at all you can also, then you cannot deliver all the things within the given time limit, okay. So the requirement is such that you need to provide some set of functionalities in a quick span of time. Then new functionalities can be added later on. So for that purpose, this incremental process model can be used. So here you will see the combination of linear and parallel processes, okay. In a way here you can understand, say, let us talk about the first increment. What is happening? You start with the communication phase. After communication, planning is done, modeling is done, construction is done, and then deployment is done. That means the first release is over here. Now you have to understand, as this first release, as we were working on this first release, requirement was gathered, planning was done, and modeling was also almost done. This is just schematic thing. It may overlap either here or somewhere here, no problem. One thing that we have to understand, that the next increment 2, is not starting after completion of the first increment, okay. It has started somewhere in between, okay. So because of that, what is happening, you can see this is a linear fashion, that after completion of one activity, the another activity is starting. After completion of one activity, another activity is starting. But at the same time, while one activity was being executed, another activity of increment 2 has already started in parallel. So you can see it is a combination of these activities in linear and parallel process flows. So here what actually happens is, you get first increment with some set of functionalities. These functionalities were something which was of utmost importance for the company or the client. They wanted these functionalities as soon as possible. So first of all, you prepared your communication and you gathered the requirement, concentrated on this part of features, these features of the system, and accordingly you planned and modeled and constructed these features and deployed it. And in next increment, you found that what are the functionalities which have more priority. So those features you again designed and implemented, and in this way you may have n numbers of increments, and in each increment you will keep on adding certain new features. This is also a thing that you will have to keep in mind, that till which level, in which increment, what will be the value of n in this nth increment you want, what should be the value of n, because there should be a time when you should stop making new increments, right? Only the maintenance phase should remain there and new increments should not be required, because this is important for planning purpose, because you have to estimate the cost of the software, you will have to estimate the timeline, you will have to estimate the effort. So keeping these things in mind, one thing that is very clear is that you should have an estimate of the total number of functionalities that you are going to add, and what are the features with their priority. What are the priority of the features? Accordingly, you will include some features in the first increment and certain other features in the next increment. So this was something about your incremental process model. Next, we will try to see something about evolutionary process models.